All right, welcome, friends. Here we are, still in Bogota. You can see the weather conditions are less than ideal. Rain and 63 degrees. We are, as promised, headed to Medellin. I had toyed with either Medellin or Cali, but I figured Medellin is north of Bogota, northwest of Bogota, and we're headed generally north, back up to the States eventually. So I figured Medellin. So we're going to do a full flight video. It's Sunday. Little thunderstorm activities you can no doubt hear. And so we are going to do full flight video. Full flight Sunday. Full flight video Sunday. I don't know. I don't know how good that is as a marketing title, but we'll run with it. Anyway, let's get started. All right, so we'll do our left and right battery, left and right generator, APU generator, start the APU, release the parking brake, wait for this to come up to 100% on the APU, and we'll start the right engine. Taking off on 3-1 left, 180. Up to 18,000 for our climb out. The recognition lights, anti-collision lights. Lousy weather. Set 195. BS 3500. We're at 100% now on the APU, so we'll fire up the right engine. Right engine starting to come up. Set nav source to FMS. Bearing 1 GPS. Speed bugs. We'll set VY at 195. VAP 140. All on. Make sure those stuck. Did they stick? They did, okay. Then we'll set PFD settings, wind option 2. God knows whether the wind will actually be consistent. You never know these days. This is concerning because I'm seeing what appears to be airplanes on final. We may have another situation where the sim page tells us to take off in this direction even though all the other planes are approaching from the other direction. Frustrating, frustrating, frustrating. Let's calibrate the altimeter, 3029. Wow, that seems high for this weather. Good grief. Right engine is stable. Left engine now. Coming up. One notch of flaps. Pitot-static heat on. Keep an eye on icing conditions for this climb out. Seems clear that we're going to be taking off in the wrong direction. At least just like Rio. Not so hot, but deal with it. 18 degrees outside. 3-1 left. I don't think it should be 3-1 left, but whatever you say, honey. Okay, so we'll go to the right. That left engine's just about there. See right there. 55, 56. Get that end 2% up to about 60, and then we're good to go. Okay, there it goes. Okay, APU shut down now. We don't need that anymore. Engines are running. Taxi light on. All right, let's get going. Wow, this visibility is terrible. Holy mackerel. Wow, really bad visibility. Jesus. I mean, not only is it raining, it's like foggy. And we get to take off in the wrong direction. What could possibly go wrong? Why am I having visions of Tenerife? What are you going to do? Zoom in on the MFD. I can't believe how bad the weather is. God almighty. Short flight, only 169 miles. Cruising altitude, I think, is 30,000 feet. But remember, we're taking off from 8,300 feet, so we don't have as long to climb. Wow. Pretty good rain going here. Good Lord. Well, the winds appear to be from the southwest. So, I mean, it's not a tailwind takeoff. Winds are going to be coming, right now they're coming from our right, but we're going to turn around. They're going to be coming from our left. Let's see, where am I going here? Okay. All right. I noticed, or I read, that they upgraded the signs, and they do look good. They look really good. You can actually read them now. Okay. At least no long taxi today. Clear for takeoff, 31 left, Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey. All right, let's go.
Takeoff runway 31 left, Cessna November 34 Bravo Whiskey.
Man, this is... I'm searching my memory right now. Searching my memory for whether I've dealt with visibility this poor. This is bad. Wow. Awesome. Okay. We're going to line up. Come on. Winds are sort of from the front, coming at us from the front and sort of from the left, so basically, maybe not really from the front, sort of directly like this. So at least it's not a tailwind. And the winds aren't dramatic anyway. It's 6 knots. See right here? 6 knots. Okay. We're going to arm nav on the autopilot. And we're going to sync our heading bug just in case. Get our weather radar ready. Wow. Jesus. All right. Okay, then we'll zoom out on the MFD and let's go. Doesn't appear as though anybody's on final, so thank God for that. Let's go. Start our timer. Short flight, gang. Full flight video, so buckle up. Settle in. Here we go. Airspeed's alive. $80 knots. $140. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Windy. Autopilot's engaged.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact Bogota Center on 128.6.
Auto throttle. Inner marker indicator. FLC's engaged.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey. Bogota Center, Cessna November 34 Tree Bravo Whiskey is climbing through 9,900 feet for flight level 180.
Bring those flaps in.
Cessna November Tree, 4 Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Wow.
Contact center. Continue as planned.
Rainy.
Altimeter tree, 0.29er.
Check that weather radar. Come on. Wow. Okay. Landing lights. Stable climb out. Making that left turn. Right here. Man, you can really understand what they mean when they talk about being disoriented in the clouds. And like that crash that killed poor Kobe Bryant. Just very disorienting. Looks like we're about to come out on top. Or close to coming out on top anyway. 16,000 feet. Coming up to 18,000. Hopefully receive some further climb instructions. Icing. Nice. Out on top though. Above the weather. Works for me. Should get further climb instructions in about 100 feet. Clouds look amazing. Up to 260, so that's a 3 whiskey. Wow, clouds look amazing.
260 Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Climbing through transition altitude.
Transition altitude, we'll set altimeters at standard. Bumpy. Wow, doesn't that look beautiful?
Avianca 8559er, you are 39 miles northwest. Descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Keep speed below 230 knots. Expect
Look at that.
Alpha runway tree 1 left approach via the transition.
Oh, that Avianca flight just got cleared to 31 left. That's the same runway we just took off from. Maybe it wasn't the wrong runway.
Descend and maintain 14,000 feet. Keep speed below 230 knots. Expect 40 ME Alpha runway tree 1 left approach via EMS transition. Clear to EMS Avianca 8559er.
Okay, let's make sure that's in zero. Yes, it is. All right. No, we're 4 minutes, 45 seconds into this flight. So let me tell you, let's first zoom out on the MFD and then I'll make a few other observations.
Vegas is 115.1.
We're already getting destination ATIS 115.1. 115.1 is an ATIS. Sounds more like a VOR freak. Anyway, here's our flight plan today. Very short flight. There's somebody on final in real time. This looks like an angled approach. I guess this is 01. That's the runway we're landing on. ILS 01 Zulu. ILS 01 Zulu, which is due north. 115.1. Let's go ahead and enter that. Let's just see if we can get any ATIS information. COM 2, 115.1. I'm very skeptical about that. What's going on? 5. Why won't it work? Oh, I know why. Because you can't have a COM in that frequency range. Up to 300. That's how through all this
Bogota,
game.
East 559 Bogota Center. Continue to AM as planned.
That's interesting. Let me try to explain that. I was trying to enter COM2, the ATIS frequency of 115.1, but which is what ForeFlight told me the ATIS frequency is, but that's a VOR frequency. That range is too low. Comms are up in the 120s. So I guess we're not getting any ATIS information for this flight. Whatever. This is a fast flight. We're already only 136 nautical miles from the airport.
120
We're not going to be at 30,000 for very long, although we'll be at 30,000 longer than we would be if the airport was at sea level, because airport elevation is 6,955 feet, and man, oh man, I really had to dig to find, and I don't know that this is correct or not, but I had to dig to find the ILS frequency for runway 01, which I believe is 110.9. I found at least 2 websites that showed 110.9 as the correct frequency. That looks sweet. Nice. Likely a tributary to the Orinoco. Anyway, two separate, unrelated websites that seem to suggest that the ILS frequency for 01 at Medellin was 110.9. So, you know, fingers crossed. We have that entered now into nav1. Might as well go ahead and set bearing 2 to nav1. We're not going to have any data yet because we're still too far, but at least that'll give us a heads up when we get there. I think we can actually get a little more speed out of this bird, so let's go ahead and take it up to 320. We're not flying that high. Good grief, we're going to be on the ground here in a flash. Yeah, 320 is a good number at 30,000 feet, because you see there's the barber tape. I don't know if you... Well, let's see if it lasts. The oscillation roll, that weird left-right roll. Yeah, it's still doing it. So the way I deal with this, just because it drives me crazy, is to use HDG instead of nav. So we'll sync it first, then activate it, and then we'll level out. The only downside is, and it's not a downside on a flight like this where I'm going to be here at the controls for the entirety of the flight, is that you just have to monitor it to make sure you stay on track. You can do it looking at this, but the more accurate way to do it is to follow this magenta line, and you can see it started to drift ever so slightly left, which tells me we need to adjust our heading by 1 degree to the left. So it's that kind of thing. It's just sort of babysitting and doing minor course corrections. But I'll take that over constant left-right roll oscillation, which is totally unrealistic. Skies look beautiful. Weather in Medellin is currently 77 degrees and mostly cloudy. Report of isolated thunder showers. Winds are out of the east, southeast at 6, but 6 miles an hour, not knots. So we'll still going to be landing on runway 01. See, that magenta line is just a slightly off to the left, meaning we need to turn to the left another degree. Less evident here, but you can still see we're not quite tracking. By turning left, we'll get back on our course. We're not dramatically off of it. I mean, it's not like this is anything that would stir up any trouble. We got some ice still on the wings. This airport where we're landing is southeast of Medellin. I looked at landing. What's it called? This place I'm landing, Rio Negro. Don't remember.
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey descend and maintain flight level 250.
Well, that was fast. Okay, down to 250. Cessna 3 Whiskey.
Descend and maintain flight level 250 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
Never did switch over to Mach. Mach 0.79, that's good. Descend at, we'll start out with 1,500 feet per minute and see where we are. Switch over to Mach, we'll set it at 7.6. Well, I mean, we weren't at cruise for very long, were we? So we're 93 miles left on this journey. Normally you'd want to be at 27,000 feet, but as I've said now many times, airport elevation must be calculated. Airport elevation is 7,000 feet. So what that means is even though we're at 29,000 feet right now, we're effectively at 22,000 feet because we don't have as far to go to get to the airport. Hopefully that makes sense. Some weather ahead of us. Yeah, the airport's just a lot higher up, so we don't have to descend as much to get there, if that makes sense. At 80, you'd expect to be at 24, but with a 7,000 foot airport elevation, the functional equivalent of it would be 31,000. That's just my point, my way of saying that we're not too low or too high. I mean, we're lower than we need to be, but we're not too low, if that makes sense. I just hope that the ILS frequency I've got is correct, because I think we're probably going to need an instrument approach for this. It does not look like the kind of weather where we can do a visual approach. Got to start slowing us down a little bit anyway. 80 miles out. Nice, steady deceleration. By the way, the air's very smooth up here. It was a little choppy in those clouds, but this feels good. Probably could switch back over to nav, although I don't know. We might still get that oscillation roll. Let's try. There's going to be a little bit of a turn to the right because we're very slightly off track. That's what it's doing. It's correcting. No winds up here. Just 2 knots. Weird. It sounds like we're still on the frequency at Bogota. Down to 16,000. Cessna 3 Whiskey.
Descend and maintain 16,000 feet Cessna.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything useful without requiring a subscription to something. But I did find that 110.9 ILS frequency, so God willing, that's an accurate one. I hear thunder. $65 miles out. Leave it at 280 right now. Descending at 1,500 feet per minute. We're at 23,700 feet, 60 miles out. Standard would require 18,000 feet at 20 miles out. But when you add 7,000 feet to 18,000 feet, you get 25,000 feet. And we are at 23.2. So we're fine. That's good. There we go. Somebody just took off. There. Headed north. Okay, Pullux, Artux, and Don't You. From Don't You on, we're on final. Again, I wasn't able to find the kind of detail I normally prefer in terms of distance between waypoints and altitude, required altitude at various waypoints. All that was unavailable. So we're having to do this old school. Getting ready to dip into the clouds, but we do have some mountain tops down there visible. Also some lightning strikes for this very short flight. Oh yeah, that's some weather. Let's check the weather radar. Okay. Looks like we got a little cell right here. We're headed, maybe just skirt the left side of it, or maybe we'll pierce it. I don't know. Okay. All right, headed in. Anti-icing equipment is still on. Making that right turn at Pullux. Dipping down into the weather now. Ooh, a lot of weather coming up. Let's see how deep it goes. Ah, down to the ground, basically. Okay. Interesting. This is going to be fun. Completely IMC right now. We can't see anything. Again, this is what makes familiarity and comfort with your instruments so critical. Airspeed, altitude, vertical speed. Last waypoint, next waypoint, distance to next waypoint, heading, artificial horizon, current VS, 1,500 feet per minute, autopilot, FMS. I mean, all this stuff, very important. Outside air temperature, -6. Still no data on our bearing 2 for nav 1. So, we have our hands full here, friends. Slowing to 270. We're 40 miles out. We're at 18,000 feet. Normally at 40 miles, you'd expect to be at 12,000 feet. Runway's 7,000 feet above sea level, so we're fine. 12 plus 7 is 19. We're at 18.3, so just where we want to be, altitude-wise. It's getting dark, though. Gotta start to slow us here because we're, even though we're nowhere near 10,000, which is the 250 knot speed limit, we're only 39 miles from the airport, so that should be... Everything's sort of scrambled a little bit when you are landing at a high altitude airport. Everything. Man, oh man, does that look good. Oh, sweet! I love it! That looks so real.
3 Bravo Whiskey, you are 30 miles southwest. Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect ILS Yankee runway 1 approach via Dawn to transmission. Cleared to Dawn 2.
Dawn 2. I like Don't You.
Descend and maintain 13,000 feet. Expect ILS Yankee runway 1 approach via Dawn to transition.
Oh, this looks amazing. Holy Christ, look at this. That looks so real. I can't even believe it. Wow, the clouds. Let's check that weather still. Nah, it's all right. Oof. Okay, we do have ILS frequency information now coming in. IMDE, India Mike Delta Echo, showing 25.2 nautical miles from the airport. Very good. Very, very good. It's going quite well so far. I shouldn't say that, I guess, but I'm going to exit left once we land. Continuing to slow. We're coming up on Don't You. Showing us Artux to Dontu, and Dontu is 2 minutes 4 seconds away. Giving us plenty of time to continue slowing. Because remember, once we make that left turn at Dontu, we are on final for this very short flight. The good news is slow us down here. Reset speed to 180, and then we'll re-engage the auto throttle once it slows down. Speed brakes. Auto throttle's re-engaged. Okay. I can't get over how beautiful this looks. Oh, rainbow! Rainbow! Sweet!
Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey contact. Medellin approach on 121.1.
Damn, that looks good.
121.1 Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
Okay, we're getting ready to make that left turn.
Cessna November 343 Bravo Whiskey is
Look at the clouds!
for 13,000 feet.
By the way, look at our glide slope. Medellin. That's funny. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to switch over to Nav 1. And I'm going to switch over to APPR. And we haven't technically been given any further descent instructions, but I don't care. I'm not going to pass up a chance to get on a localizer and established on the glide slope when it's just set up like that. And that was just a layup. Already on the glide slope, by the way. Look at this, friends. Already on the glide slope. Now I don't have to do altitude management anymore. I mean, we're basically... The airport's this way, but the airplane's going to continue to turn left to intercept this. See, I saw that coming. Is our landing lights on?
Maintain 12,000 feet Cessna 3 Bravo Whiskey.
I'm going to bust right through 12,000 though. Hopefully they continue to tell us to descend and stop and don't start yelling at us. Oh, I gotta be a good soldier. All right, we'll level out. Don't stop talking to me. I'll notch your flaps. How's the weather look? Okay. Could be a little rough. You're not talking to me anymore, so I'm going to go back to APPR. Sorry, guys. Can't have you ignoring me. Keeping an eye on this glide slope right here. I don't know what the minimums are at this airport. Couldn't find them. Couldn't find them. Still 15 miles out. 14.1. They're probably going to start yelling at me now for... Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, at least there's the tower handoff. At least they didn't start yelling at me about being too low. That's what I thought was going to happen. There's that weather I mentioned. Nice. 146 at 8 from the southeast.
Cleared ILS
What
Yankee
the?
runway 1 approach Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
Let's see. If we're not on final yet, you see this? This should be drifting to the left, but we're on the glide slope. That's damn peculiar. Should be turning left. Only 11 miles out. Well, we got, at least we got the ground in sight. God, it looks beautiful. Holy cow. The only concern is, remember, we don't know that we have the right ILS frequency. It looks right. Stay positive here. There's that left turn. Yes! Yes! There we go. Whew! I was getting a little nervous. Let's continue slowing. 9 miles out. Let's go outside. Look at this beautiful airplane. Jesus. Here. How about not your flaps? There's the airport. Anyway, yeah, I was going to land actually in Medellin proper, but I couldn't find... I mean, there was no precision approach availability, and I'm just not going to... When I don't know the area, I'm not going to screw around with a visual approach in IMC conditions to an airport I've never been at before. Okay, looks really good. Let's continue slowing. Outer marker, full flaps. At 145. There's the runway. I see one red, 3 whites.
Runway 1. Wind 146 at 8.
146. The winds are coming from behind us. Right now, on winds aloft, they're coming at us from the right. But on the airfield, apparently they're coming from behind us on the right. This looks great. Look at this. I thought, yeah, I got full flaps. Look at how pretty that looks. Oh my God. That is incredible. Passenger view. Oh my God, this is so awesome. Okay, auto throttle.
3 mile final runway 01.
3 mile final. 1,000 feet above ground level. Depressurize. Perfect established on the glide slope perfectly. Right here. 1 red, 3 whites. $500 on 4 flight, and we should get 500 in the cockpit here in a second. Autopilot.
Autopilot.
I have the airplane. Got 4 whites on the poppy, so we're coming in a little high. That's okay. An 11,000 foot long runway. 1 red, 2 reds, 2 whites. Runway 1 confirmed. Pretty butter. Tailwind. 5 knots. It's okay though. Stable. Very, 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 very nice. I will take it. Got left, as promised.
Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey turn, next taxiway.
Man, this looks tropical.
Contact ground on 121.9er.
Fantastic.
1.9er Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
My mouse stopped working. That's always fun. No, better here than on final. Okay. Bring in the spoilers. Passenger view. Bring in those flaps. Welcome to Medellin, Colombia, where the time is 2:58 p.m. What a nice short flight. This was fun. This was fun. I mean, nobody will watch it, but it was still fun. I enjoyed this one tremendously. Okay, let's contact ground. And are we going to get parking? Good, we are. Excellent.
Cordoba ground Cessna November 3
Cordoba.
Bravo Whiskey request
Landing
taxi
lights,
to
taxi
parking.
light, pulse.
Cessna November 34 Bravo Whiskey Taxi to General Aviation Parking.
Stop that timer.
Bravo Alpha Charlie, cross runway 19er.
Look at that, 32 minutes since we started our takeoff roll.
Taxiing to General Aviation Parking via taxiway Bravo Alpha Charlie cross runway 19er Cessna Tree Bravo Whiskey.
They want us to go back across the runway. All right, well, this is a little airport, so... Cross runway 19. Oh yeah, GA's over on the right. So much for exiting left. That's all right, this will be quick. This was great. I'm so glad I found the correct active, or the correct frequency for the ILS, man. I was starting to sweat when I was doing the setup on this flight. I'm like, oh Christ, how am I supposed to land without an ILS frequency? Okay, so we're going to turn right, I presume. Yes, turn right, cross runway 19. Or in the alternative, runway 01. Nice. Man, I can't believe how beautiful the graphics
Approaching
look.
runway 0119.
Don't think anybody else is on final. No.
Entered runway 0119.
This was really, I mean, a stunning approach. And, I mean, the graphics is what I mean. Really beautiful. There's our parking spot right there. Medellin. Fun. I don't know where I'm going to go after this. Maybe up to Panama. This was great. Really cool. It's kind of interesting that we were established on the glide slope, even though we weren't, you know, we weren't aligned. That's interesting. Okay, where do they want me here? Let's figure this out. This is always a little tricky. Looks like we're going to make a right turn. Yes, okay. Boy, that's a pretty sharp right turn you guys want me to make. I'll tell you what, I'm going to make my life a little easier. There's our flashlight guy. I'm looking at that yellow line there on the PFD screen down there on the bottom left to help me align. There he is. Okay. Fantastic. Man, this flight went perfect. All right, let's kill that right engine. I mean, perfect. Kill the anti-icing. And let's go outside. There we are. Hey, that's not too bad. Stayed in the circle. Perfectly aligned. Nice, dude. Really slick. A couple other biz jets. Oh my god, this was great. Bogota to Medellin. Who would have thought that would have been one of my more enjoyable flights lately? I loved it. Alright. Let's drop to the logbook screen, get our lights off, and welcome to Medellin. I don't know how long I'll be here, but That was fun. That was really fun. Total time of flight, 29 minutes, 31 seconds. Video's probably about 50, I'd guess, with the takeoff and taxi and landing scenarios. But anyway, thanks for joining us for this fun full flight video, full flight Sunday. Enjoyed it. Have a good one.